be disregarded.
Very interesting. Thank you. Right at the back there.
I think a lot of what's been said, to sort of return to what the man from OSS.net said, a lot of what's been said about sort of attracting the masses of youth to more substantial information, like, and more concern about the world through fun, I think that sort of misses the point. By, like, the very fact that the internet is available with its massive wealth of information and resources, like, those who seek out that, like, the nature of our government and the nature of the UN and similar organizations is fundamentally meritocratic. Those who seek out that information will find it, like, and so the point isn't that the masses should be redirected to substantial things, but rather that information should be, that crucial information should be accessible to those who wish and need, those who wish to find it and those who need it. So, yeah, I think we've been definitely missing the point. The people who need to use ICT and who, like, are the people who ought to be given access to it, and the people with strong desires should also be.
Okay, thank you. We just have literally a couple more minutes. The lady in the purple scarf had a question. I think that's going to have to be our last question.
I'd like to make comment that today we are discussing how to develop how to achieve a new millennium goal, right? The first one is, I think Mr. Schleisen said, rather optimistic, that we try to reduce poverty by 50%, absolute poverty. And we are dealing with the people under $1 per day. The 2 billion people live on Earth. I think we're dealing that issue in terms of information age. Then I think some of the discussions we have is like we should have it outside of United Nations, the United States or OECD countries. I think we should deal with this issue like countries like Liberia, where Mr. Moore is from, Nigeria, where Mr. K is from. I travel Africa often. So when we have parents who pull their children out of the classroom because they need their labor on the field, what are we talking about information age? I mean, when they do not have a basic education and their parents do not see their children a part of their cheap labor, I mean, what are we talking about? I think I would like to see more how we deal this, down-to-earth issue. Because some of the issues are like, the issues that we deal with on, the developed or, the industrialized nation. I'd like to go down to the, new millennium goal, how do we achieve, reduce 50% by 2015. That's enormous, almost unrealistic goal, lofty goal we have. Thank you.
I think, and to end on an optimistic note, is that the generation of the 60s, they ended the war in Vietnam, and the civil rights movement, they desegregated America, and they didn't even have cell phones, so they were able to organize, and they were able to basically bring a government to its knees and bring a government to be able to hear them and listen to them, and they didn't have the ways of communicating that we have now. We got Meetup, we got Facebook, we got MySpace. This is a new age and this is a new time. Every generation has been confronted with problems of its own. The generation of the 60s, they had to deal with segregation, they had to deal with war. Our generation, our world is more complex, but we're up to it. And there are lots of people, I always say this, when we talk about 1 in 3 persons living in sub-Saharan Africa lives on less than $1 a day, that's a statistic to other people. But to me, those are my family members. Those are people I knew. And just 4 years ago, I too was one of those statistics. So that's more real to me. And we can end that. This is the only generation in our time, in the history of humankind, that actually has the resources to be able to do it. And we're going to do it. I know that for a fact because I met with 60 other students yesterday who are all optimistic about the future as I am, and we're going to do it. Thank you.
With that,